Right, welcome ladies and gents. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, it continues. Amber Heard appeals chilling $10 million Johnny Depp defamation verdict and wants a reversal or a new trial. I mean, that's some brutal clutching at straws going on. This happened a little while ago, but the information's coming out more and more, obviously because the individuals were there, but now information is sort of filtered out. So this is a Deadline article. I mean, it's fascinating stuff. I mean, I don't understand how she has any money left at all. I don't think she does. And bearing in mind, this is a person that earned millions of dollars, didn't buy property, rented it. The worst financial decisions you could possibly come up with when you're making great sums of money. Don't invest. Idiot. Absolute idiot. So I don't understand how she has any money left, but apparently she does. So let's take a look at this. I know there's a lot of people that found my channel due to this. So it's just fascinating stuff to keep revisiting it. But Amber Heard appeals the chilling $10 million Johnny Depp defamation verdict, wants reversal or new trial. Now I love actually seeing this image here. Of Johnny Depp. Why? Well, because this was him basically having a bit of a comeback, wasn't it? This was him being invited to, what was it, like Rihanna's sort of fashion event, right? So this is him, you know, living his best life, and the only recent photos of her are literally from the trial. It's good. It's nice to see. It is nice, genuinely, it is nice to see. You know, justice served. And it is justice. So let's take a look, right? Less than a month after Johnny Depp filed his formal appeal of some of the verdict in his sweeping defamation case against Amber Heard, his Rum Diary co-star has now put her own brief in the Virginia courts. And Heard's newish lawyers are flying the flag of the First Amendment. That's what they tried to do, actually, at the end of the trial. And taking trial court Judge Penny Ascarat to task repeatedly. Oh, Ascarade. I can't remember how you pronounced it. But I mean, it's interesting. Like, how do you... I just don't think it's going to work. And the statement's not good anyway. You can't say it's a First Amendment issue. You can't. The trial court erroneously refused to dismiss this action on the ground of forum non-conveniens, based on its mistaken conclusion that Depp's claims arose in Virginia because the Washington Post servers are located here. What? So the trial court erroneously refused to dismiss this action on the grounds because Depp's claims the Washington Post servers are located here. Okay, interesting. This is how they're trying to do a retrial or just get it tossed out, ladies and gents. Bear that in mind. And that was J. Ward Brown and David L. Axelrod in the November 23rd filed document. The trial court also erred in overruling Heard's demurrer, in which she argued that the challenge statements are non-actionable expressions of opinion and are not reasonably capable of conveying the alleged defamatory implication. The constitutional law specialising DC-based Ballard Spa LLP attorneys added. How? How are you arguing that? Oh, the statements are non-actionable because they're just expressions of opinion. Okay. Alright. The holding, if allowed to stand, undoubtedly will have a chilling effect on other women who wish to speak about abuse involving powerful men. What, only if it's just opinion? Oh, goodness me. Further lambasting Judge Ascarade for improperly instructing the jury in the Fairfax County case that end almost entirely in Depp's favour on June 1st, and excluding highly probative evidence, and by admitting irrelevant and prejudicial evidence, Heard's appeal seeks to have the more than $10 million verdict against her reversed or tossed out for a new appeal. They allowed quite a lot, actually. And what I mean by that is they allowed a lot from her side as well. Looking at it, like, I feel like it was a pretty fair trial in terms of what was allowed. And I remember, you know, I covered this extensively, but I remember at the inception point of the trial, loads of people thought Judge Ascarade was on Heard's side. They were like, oh, there was a lot of like, there was a lot in terms of the decisions that were being done, which looked like it was reflecting very positively on Amber Heard. Like a lot, in fact. So it is interesting, isn't it, now, how the cookies crumbled this way. This case also should never have gone to trial because another court had already concluded that Depp abused Heard on multiple occasions. That was completely... yeah, but different... Literally different evidence. They referenced the Sun case. But different evidence was allowed in that case. The 68-page brief of... And also, as well, you can't say another court. It's a different judicial system. What absolute nonsense is this? Anyway, after Depp filed his case, so this is the 68-page, this is the Depp versus Sun. The United Kingdom High Court of Justice ruled in separate defamation action brought by Depp that Heard's abuse allegations were true. The appeal notes of the ultimately unsuccessful libel suit that the ex-Pirates of the Caribbean star brought against Rupert Murdoch's The Sun tabloid in 2018 for calling him a wife-beater in print. The trial court should have given preclusive effect to that 129-page decision, which followed a 3-week trial at which Depp, Heard and 24 other witnesses testified. But you would think that the longer trial with more evidence is more conclusive, wouldn't you? I mean, surely that's just common sense and logic. A bunch of nonsense. Absolute bunch of nonsense. It's just so ridiculous. So failing to get the matter tossed or moved to another jurisdiction like California, Heard countersued Depp. And this is the issue. I mean, she countersued. That wasn't going to work anyway. And I love Depp's appeal. This court should reverse the judgment on Ms. Heard's counterclaim as to the April 27th Waldman statement, but should otherwise affirm the judgment in Mr. Depp's favour, declared the November 3rd filing in Virginia's Court of Appeals of the $2 million that the Virginia jury awarded Heard in a countersuit claim. And I mean, it is true. It's a bit of a weird thing. Oh, God, it's so funny. The resulting jury verdict against Heard on all of Depp's claims cannot be reconciled with the jury verdict against Depp on Heard's counterclaim, declares Heard's appeal from just before Thanksgiving. To find in favour of Depp, the jury must have concluded that Depp did not abuse Heard and that Heard knowingly lied in accusing him of abuse, the dense document says. But to find in favour of Heard, the jury must have concluded that Heard told the truth about being a victim of domestic abuse by Depp. Accordingly, the verdict against Heard cannot stand. With both Depp and Heard... I mean, the thing is, I don't think this will go in their favour. I think it will just unanimously now go in Depp's favour, to be fair. So, you know, Depp and Heard, having now filed their respective appeals, you'd think things would move along at a brisk pace, at least by the measure of American judicial system. Not so much in this case. Under Virginia law, a group of judges will now decide the merits of both appeals. Depending on how that goes and who is left disappointed, Heard and Depp can take the matter to the Commonwealth Supreme Court, which means it will be years before this is settled, if it ever really is. I'm glad this is appealing, because then it will go to... This will then be case law, so people can then cite it. And if it goes in Depp's favour, then they cite it and go, Depp v. Heard, you can't write this trash unless you've got actual evidence. You know, like, it's good. So there you have it. There's the latest. It'll be really interesting to see what happens from here, but let me know what you think down below. Take care.